Let me get a little sip of my coffee, please. Thank you. It's great to be with you this morning. Near his 87th birthday, President Harry S. Truman, who was hospitalized for pneumonia, and he went to Florida to recuperate and get a little better. All his contemporaries were dead. Adlai Stevenson, Prime Minister Winston Churchill, General Douglas MacArthur, who worked very closely with all these great men. When he heard about the death of President Dwight Eisenhower, his immediate family said he went downhill. He really went downhill. One night he was sitting alone and the sun came in and he said, "I'm beginning to feel like I'm the last leaf on the tree." I'm not 87 yet, but you know, there are some days I feel like I'm the last leaf on the tree. Lots of my friends in ministry are no longer preaching, they're no longer with us. Dean, Arthur, Bill, Murphy, Alistair, Joe, so many have passed away in the last several years. People that I worked with, admired, enjoyed their company, Brother Gene Wolfe. Several good people no longer here. I guess the fact that I'm still hanging on has got to count for something, right? I'm still standing. But the cycle of life, it goes on. As I took my place before others, someone will come along and gently shove me aside and take my place one day. But no matter what, the work goes on. Our labor is not in vain. We have a responsibility. We have an obligation to do the work of God. Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said, Jesus was not so much written as plowed into the history of the world. And the more we honor him, the better our lives will be. The more we praise and adore him, the better our lives will be. My wife reminded me just the other night about William Wilberforce. Now, there's a man who honored Christ. Now, there's a man who was committed. Don't know what religion, don't know where he went to church, don't know anything about him, except the great British reformer. He served in Parliament for many, many years. He was a great politician, theologian. And after serving as a member of Parliament, he became a Christian, he said, under the influence of John Newton. And immediately Wilberforce wanted to quit Parliament and go into ministry. But Newton says no. He persuaded him, you can do more for the cause of Christ by remaining in politics rather than ministry. Wilberforce gave himself to making England a better country. He wrote in his diary, God has set before me two great objectives. Number one, the suppression of the slave trade in the British Empire and the reformation of morals. Committed, dedicated to Jesus Christ. And every year for the next 20 years, don't get tired in well-doing. Every year for the next 20 years, he stood up in Parliament and he made his impassionate plea. Slavery needs to be abolished. And every year for 20 years, They voted him down. They voted him down. They ridiculed him. They laughed at him. They voted him down. No, they rejected him. 3 days before he died, the British Empire abolished slavery. You see, it's what's done in between the speeches that impressed me. He helped people in an amazing way. One writer, Kevin Belmonte, said, he was a journalist, he said, the late William Wilberforce's, he said good causes stuck to him like pins to a magnet. He had soup kitchens all over the city. He brought schools and libraries all over the city. He helped the deaf and the blind. He supported vaccination for smallpox, and he started a group, Prison Reform. He worked to improve working conditions. He helped establish hospitals. And he started a movement for cruelty to animals. Worked tirelessly to distribute Bibles all around the world. He died. He was buried in Westminster Abbey. The Duke of Wellington walked amid his funeral procession. And whenever the crowd saw the Duke of Wellington, they started to cheer. But before they got out of hand the Duke of Wellington, he raised his finger to his lip, and a silent but proud admonition. The great man was saying, you're not here to honor me, but you're here to honor him whom I came to honor. If you want to make the most out of life, determined to live for Jesus, you can't go wrong. Honor Jesus Christ. Lift up Christ. Praise his wonderful name. Honor Jesus Christ. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.